Like and subscribe to PalsFundamentals on YouTube for more videos like this. Sources linked below.
Welcome.
Today we're doing a regional news report looking at a whole stack of sources from across the North Atlantic.
Right, covering politics, economics, local life, the works.
Our goal is basically to pull out the key takeaways, the essentials from recent events. We'll go country by country.
And give you that quick update. We'll start with Iceland, then Greenland, Shetland, and finish up with the Faroe Islands.
Okay, so Iceland first. What's happening politically?
Well, there's a new poll, and interestingly, the ruling coalition parties together, their combined support has actually ticked up a little.
Oh, really? To what?
It's at 51.3% now, combined.
But is that the whole picture?
Not quite, because beneath that number, the individual parties are seeing shifts. The Social Democratic Alliance is actually leading now.
Leading the pack.
Yeah, at 27.4%.
Yeah.
And the Independence Party, they're second with 18.9%. So, it's mixed.
Interesting. And what about Iceland's relationship with, say, the U.S.?
Well, there's this advice circulating, apparently from a former U.S. national security advisor.
What's the advice?
Essentially for Iceland to keep a low profile with the current administration. Sort of let the U.S. claim credit for any cooperation ideas.
Like a fixed military presence, that kind of thing?
Exactly. The idea seems to be to avoid scrutiny over Iceland's lower defense spending.
And the thinking behind that?
It's framed around a view that the president's decision-making is, well, let's say, less policy-driven and maybe more unpredictable. Random was the word used.
That's quite a delicate balancing act for a smaller nation, isn't it?
Absolutely. Navigating those relationships with major powers is always complex, especially when spending comes into it.
Okay, shifting gears. What about geologically? Any volcanic updates?
Yes, near Svartsengi, the likelihood of an eruption seems to be increasing again.
Increasing. Why is that?
Well, while the the deep seismic activity under the magma chamber has calmed down a bit,
Okay.
the land uplift is continuing. And it's continuing at quite a pace.
Ah, so the ground is still swelling.
Precisely. And that uplift is the key signal. It means pressure is still building up down there.
Which puts the area, infrastructure included, at higher risk if it continues.
That's the concern, yes. Especially in the coming months.
Right. And economically. Anything moving the market.
Definitely. The Icelandic stock market got a real boost from a government offering of Icelandic shares.
How so?
There was just unusually high public participation, much more than previous offerings.
People really jumped in.
They did. I mean, the trading volume on the day the offering launched was huge. Over 4 billion ISK in just Icelandic shares.
Wow. That's significant.
It really is. Close to the average daily volume for the whole market, actually.
And the hope is this broad participation helps the market.
Yeah, the thinking is it improves market quality, deepens price formation, makes prices more robust, basically.
Okay, let's move southwest. Greenland. What's the news there?
Well, politicians speaking in the Danish parliament recently, they painted a pretty grim picture.
Grim.
Challenging living conditions, rising costs, and economic forecasts they starkly called the mouth of death.
The mouth of death. That's powerful language.
It tells you how serious they view the situation. They're calling for more investment from Denmark.
What kind of investment?
Strategic things like harbors, digital infrastructure, and also reconciliation on historical issues. They mentioned specific cases.
Like the Spirals case.
Yes, and illegal adoptions, too. Alongside this, you've got the ongoing independence debate.
Right. Questioning Denmark's motives.
Kind of. Is it love or ownership when Greenland talks self-determination? That sort of framing came up.
And Greenland's also looking beyond Denmark, strengthening other ties.
Building relationships with other European partners. Some experts see this, partly anyway, as a reaction to U.S. pressure.
Following that whole U.S. interest in buying Greenland a while back.
Potentially, yeah. It shows Greenland playing a multipolar game, really. And the Nordic Council is even talking about full membership for Greenland.
Interesting times. Any security concerns mentioned?
Yes, actually. Concerns about potential U.S. espionage within the Kingdom of Denmark.
Espionage. Linked to what?
Linked to alleged historical cooperation between Danish intelligence and the NSA, particularly around cable access.
Cable access.
Yeah.
So that could potentially leave.
Yeah.
Who exposed?
Well, the commentary suggests the whole kingdom, which includes Greenland and the Faroes, could be left open and exposed, not just to adversaries, but maybe even partners.
That's a major security discussion point.
Definitely.
Okay, quickly wrapping up Greenland. Other news.
There's an investigation into a big oil spill near Kortormit, a leak from an emergency facility. Police are looking for witnesses.
Is it being treated as criminal?
Not currently. Seems like an investigation into the cause. And there's also debate about allowances for former politicians.
Ah, the actor allowances.
Yeah. Concerns some might be getting double pay, holding new jobs while still receiving the allowance. Sensitive stuff, given the economic climate.
Understandable. And a personnel change.
Yes, Denmark reappointed Thomas Arenkiel to head its Defense Intelligence Service.
Got it. Okay, let's hop over to Shetland. What's happening there?
A big push from local politicians about replacing old electricity meters, RTS meters.
Why the push?
There's a deadline end of June. And thousands of homes still have these old units. They're warning about potential massive disruption.
If they're not replaced in time, so power could be affected.
That's the worry, yeah. A critical infrastructure thing. That deadline is looming.
And on the social side?
The local food bank manager voiced serious concern. Demand is rising significantly.
How much?
Over 1,000 parcels distributed last year, helping nearly 1,600 people. They're calling it an income problem at its root.
So while generosity is there, it points to deeper economic strain.
Exactly. It highlights those pressures on households.
Anything else from Shetland?
Yeah, this interesting bit about a cruise ship. Businesses apparently got no warning about a gastroenteritis outbreak on board before passengers came ashore.
Oh, wow. So passengers were disembarking while sick.
Well, the concern was about the lack of prior notification to the local businesses and community.
Highlighting a need for better communication around public health, especially with visitors.
Right. Timely info is key for precautions.
Okay, finally, let's head to the Faroe Islands. What's the picture there?
Economically, one standout figure is the activity rate. It's still the highest in Europe.
The proportion of people working or seeking work?
Exactly. For ages 15-74, it's at 85%.
85%. That's incredibly high.
It really is. And it's notably high for women and across both younger and older age groups compared to other European countries.
Speaks to a very engaged workforce.
Definitely suggests some unique social and economic factors at play there.
What else is being discussed?
There's a debate around democratic process at Betri, the mutual company.
A mutual, like owned by members.
Yes, and the debate is about how they distribute member crowns think dividends and how voting rights work.
How do they work?
It's a weighted system, apparently favoring business customers over individual members.
Ah, so critics worry that gives businesses too much influence.
That's the argument, that it could make the company vulnerable or less representative of all its members. It's about fairness in governance.
Makes sense. Any sports news?
Yeah, coastal rowing is seeing some development. They've launched new boats recently.
Gearing up for competition?
Seems like it. Building infrastructure, aiming for international competition, and maybe even the Olympics down the line.
Since it's going to be in the 2028 games.
Exactly. So they're positioning themselves.
Good to see. Any quick local government or infrastructure points?
Just briefly, reports of one municipality thinking about leaving the municipal association, and also plans rolling out for more electric vehicle charging stations.
Practical developments. Okay.
So that covers our sweep.
It does. We've touched on quite a range today. Political shifts, security talks, economic indicators, geological risks, community issues across Iceland, Greenland, Shetland, and the Faroes.
A lot happening in the region.
And looking across all these reports, these updates from the North Atlantic, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
So?
Well, how do these very distinct communities, each with its own unique context, manage to balance their specific local needs against these bigger regional relationships and, global forces?
Yeah, it's a constant balancing act.
Yeah.
What are the long-term effects of these specific challenges, these opportunities, on where each of them is heading? It's something to keep watching.